So this is a bombshell for the Democrats because now they have actual evidence of foul play of Trump being investigated, of Trump being followed, them gathering information on Trump. And this was General Flynn is stating. And Flynn says that this wasn't rogue spying. It was organized, it was intentional, and he claims it was part of an institutional operation to sabotage a sitting president and nullify an election they didn't even like. This is what we're hearing, ladies and gentlemen, out of the White House. This is what we're hearing out of the White House from the Obama administration. Wow. And just to think people thought Obama couldn't do any wrong, even though he didn't support Black Americans, but I digress. And again, don't forget he was actually labeled the deportation chief or something in those guidelines because everybody was going harsh on Donald Trump of mass deportation, but Obama deported more illegal immigrants than any other sitting president. Now, Trump may double or triple that number because of his time in getting right on it. But this went under the fence. This went behind the veil, ladies and gentlemen, of President Obama doing a lot of the things that now the American people are just finding out. In Flynn words, and this is me quoting it directly, he stated that they spied, they lied, they framed me to protect their operation. Now I'm holding the proof. He has all the cards. Now, according to Flynn, this proof includes internal memos, redacted emails, intelligence briefings, and surveillance authorization signed off by senior officials from the Obama-era DOJ. He says that these documents confirm illegal FISA, F-I-S-A, abuse and the strategic weaponization of federal law enforcement. And do not forget, President Obama has done this. This is the alleged claims, okay, of Flynn's words, okay, of former National Security Advisor General Flynn. This is what he's stating, that he actually has proof, he actually has evidence, he has memos and emails to show the American people. And again, we just have to wait for this information to be released, just as most of us are waiting for the Epstein files. But Flynn hasn't released the full files to the public yet. But here's what he's saying is coming. Surveillance orders on Trump's campaign officials before any alleged wrongdoings, communication between the DOJ officials talking about a backup plan in case Trump won, evidence that key media outlets were briefed in real time to shape the Russian Gate narrative, an internal pushback by lower level analysts who were told to stand down or be reassigned. Now, I wonder how many people are going to jump on board and try to protect President Obama, who needs no protection from the American people. I don't care if you're Democrat, Black, white, Asian, Hispanic. I don't care what you are. You're an Obama lover. Listen, if you are breaking the law, if you are spying, if you are investigating a former president, and you're doing it again, this is actually breaking the law, ladies and gentlemen, because again, he says that these documents confirm illegal FISA abuse and the strategic weaponization of federal law enforcement. That's what's saying. And Flynn quoted, okay, and I paraphrase. Let me make sure I get this right. The evidence they tried to bury isn't going away. It's here. It's real. And once it's released, there's no walking it back. And that's where we're waiting for. Again, I think we're waiting for a lot of things as the American people. Are we not? We're waiting for this information to be released. We're waiting for the Epstein files to be released. And as expected, when it comes to former President Obama investigating President Trump, again, some of the claims here, evidence that the key media outlets, now, this is my conjecture, allegedly, it's possibility, the likes of CNN, MSNBC, ABC, NBC, anything with a C probably. But they stated that evidence that key media outlets were briefed in real time to shape the Russian Gate narrative. So basically what they're stating here is that mass media pushed propaganda on the American people. This was all in a ploy so President Trump couldn't be president again, by the way. That's the one thing that we cannot forget. okay, or prevent him, my apologies, prevent him from being president. Again, this was during the Obama administration. Let me make sure I get my timeline right. Now, as I stated before, as expected, the mainstream outlets were CNN, MSNBC, the New York Times, and already labeling Flynn's claims as conspiracy-laced, baseless, or political motivated. But ask yourself this: if it's so baseless, why the media blackout? Why do we have the coordinated silence across legacy media? Why no Freedom of Information Act lawsuits to get the truth? And more importantly, why did they go so hard? They went extra hard to destroy this man in the first place. Now, some people believe that President Trump is a bumbling idiot, that he doesn't know what he's doing, that he's incompetent. Even Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, when he made those low IQ remarks, basically say, let me keep this simple for the president so he can understand, basically reverberating the same sentiments that President Trump stated on her. But when it comes to this, Flynn was the first scalp of the anti-Trump machine. They charged him with lying to the FBI as a setup, as he puts it, just days into the Trump's presidency. Why? Because as the national security advisor, Flynn had access to everything, every cable, every call, every covert operation, and they knew he would blow the whistle. Where's the CIA in all of this? You don't think the CIA had any information of this? Because where are the agents that they used to spy on President Trump before he became president in his first term? Because again, they were doing everything to try to stop this man to become president, just as well as they did for trying to stop him becoming the 47th president. So again, let me be crystal clear. There is no longer about Trump versus Biden. This is about the integrity of every election going forward. This is about the unelected bureaucrats in federal agencies that can override the will of the people with black ops and media manipulation. And just look, in order for these news agencies to come out with these narratives, propaganda, I'm pretty sure they got paid by the U.S. government through some pork funding legislation or some pork funding under the table pluff account. When we look at these things, Flynn is saying this very plainly, folks. We no longer have a republic. We have a shadow state pulling the strings behind the scenes. And I believe that a lot of us already knew that there was a shadow state in place, and that only people with certain statuses, bank rolls and bank accounts of billions and billions of dollars was in charge, and of course behind all of this. And they didn't want President Trump to become president the first time because they're like, he's too erratic, we can't control him, he's a billionaire himself, he has connections, he has influence, and now he's going to have the power of the presidency. Who can stop him now? Now, Flynn has promised that he will begin releasing documents soon, but here's what I want you guys to pay close attention to. Will the DOJ move to block the release? Because again, this is supposedly, allegedly, the acts of a former president by the way of President Obama. So they're going to block this release. Will the media attack Flynn's character again instead of addressing the content? Will House Republicans step up, or will they do, when it comes to the Epstein files, will they chicken out? He says it's going to start with a drip and then it's going to flood. Once the floodgates open on all of these stories, whether it be Epstein or the investigation of President Trump by the way of the Obama administration through the DOJ, even the most diehard skeptics will have no choice but to admit it. We've been lied to on a scale most Americans can't even imagine. And just the other day when I was reporting about Joy Reid conspiring with Republican Congressman Jasmine Crockett to basically, in some regards, try to deport the Trump family, her state basically is revoking her membership into the Democratic Party. She's like, I think I'm going to be an independent. So we're not just dealing with political corruption. We're dealing with a system built to protect itself at all costs. And the man who stood at the highest levels of intelligence says he's ready to take it down brick by brick. So I ask you guys this: what happens to a country when the people finally see what's been done in the dark? because they stated that everything that's done in the dark will come to light, and we're still waiting for it. So again, General Michael Flynn has just dropped a political nuke claiming he has classified documents that prove Obama's DOJ and FBI spied on Trump and plotted to destroy his presidency before day one. In this report, hopefully I broke down these allegations, the government cover-up, and of course the media's silence or the media's propaganda initiative to fool the American people. And we're going to define if this is true. And we're going to dive deeper into these Epstein files because I think this needs a closer look. I was really hands-off Epstein and just waiting for more information to come out. Because again, you can do a quick report why they're not, coming out with the files, but now it has my attention. And I believe that it has you guys' attention too. So with that, I'll see you guys on the next one.